Before we start, small disclaimer. This is not a paid advertisement. I am doing this video on my own volition to combat the amount of lies being spread about this specific car. We'll start on the J-Beam. Everybody has been calling this thing a mesh slap since it released. It is not. A mesh slap is when you take a car's J-Beam, the Corvette for example, and slap another car body, a Honda Civic for example, onto the Corvette J-Beam without changing a thing. That's a mesh slap. This? Not a mesh slap. Moving on to another complaint, a comment on Neological's video pokes at the fact that you can put default ETK engines into this car, citing that as minimal effort. Let's break it down nice and simple. Having the ability to put stock game engines in a car as an option is not minimal effort. That's called mod compatibility. There's mods out there for Beamng that have other BMW engines, and this car features that interchangeability. It's not low effort if they had to port the engines over, get them to work, and still give them the option for modded engine compatibility. You're just seeking a reason to hate. Now that we've addressed the mesh slap and low effort allegations, let's move on to the stolen features allegations. People are talking about how the radio in this M4 is stolen from another car. Nobody ever bothers to name it. Or that it's things from the repo like
SLEM
alarm mod taken and put on this mod without accreditation. Let's clear that up. The radio feature, alarm feature, auto idle shutoff, windows, lights, opening center console glove box, all of that is done by Royal Renderings and their team. If you can factually cite that I am wrong, providing sources, research, and everything, I'll delete this video. Before we get into the good parts of the mod, I just want to touch on one more negative very briefly. Paid mods aren't a scam. I'm going to do a whole breakdown on this in a whole video at some point, but paid mods aren't a scam. Stop calling them that. They would be a scam if you didn't receive a product. That's just you making a decision. That's not on the mod creator. That's not on anybody else. That is 100% your fault if you don't like the product. You bought it. You can complain the product's bad to the person who made it. You can formally complain, be like, hey, mod's great, but here's what's wrong with it. You know, give constructive feedback instead of being an asshole and telling people to themselves in Modland comments. Back to the BMW though. On to the good parts now. This mod has a fully functional interior with opening glove box and center console, functioning infotainment featuring music, navigation, a phone page, car information page, and an unfinished page that just says apps content. The seats fold both in the front and the rear, which is actually insane. That's an insane level of detail. This car also features animated door handles and a hood release on the interior, as well as a fully functioning locking system with an alarm. It's pretty fucking nice. The crashing isn't the best, as the model is probably higher in poly count, but the car itself drives wonderfully. If you want to up the fun and realism, this car features a fully functioning radar detector that works with the AI police. It chirps and screams just as annoyingly as the real thing. All jokes aside, it's super fucking impressive, and I can't name another mod that does this. And I don't know if you can. If you can, leave it down below. Moving away from features, let's just look at this thing. It looks insane from the headlights to the exhaust. This is definitely one of the better looking mods out there. Just cutting up through traffic on West Coast, this thing looks insane. It's scarily real. I'm just amazed by this car. It genuinely looks really, really good. And this is a step up in quality for the modding scene. So I'm hoping it'll push people to, follow this trend. But I can't do a fair review without mentioning what I don't like about the car. The deformation leaves a little to be desired. and I'm gonna chalk that up to high poly model. Not really an excuse, kind of an excuse, not really. But the car definitely does still deform, and you know that it deforms. It's got airbags, it wrecks. It definitely wrecks. So, not a major complaint of mine. The car drives amazing, and that's what I use it for. And the blank page on the infotainment probably could have been left off. I don't know how essential it is. I'm not in the Royal Renderings modding chats to know what they plan to add and stuff like that. That's it, though. That's it for my complaints. There's really not many, as this car isn't bad. People just love to make up reasons for why it's bad. To give you a quick summary, though, this car isn't a scam. Royal Renderings, the Patreon, is not a scam. I definitely recommend going out and buying this car for yourself if you want to really know what it's like. It's got great features, great sounds, great looks, and a lot of customizability. You'd be hard-pressed to be bored of this car. But that's all from me. I hope y'all have a good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. This has been Agregarious Angles.